Republicans have been very kind to me from the beginning. Even from the beginning, when Bobby was running as a Democrat, they weren't mean.
No.
And they never have been.
No.
And I can't say that for the Democrats.
I agree.
And it's
sad because it's not the Democrats we grew up with.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the difference that people don't, I think, see. They're like, why did you turn on the Democrats? Well, first of all, I didn't. Like I said, we voted for the same person. But I'm not going to pretend I don't notice how different they are.
Yeah.
How mean they've become.
Bill Maher and Cheryl Hines teamed up to take aim at the Democrats, and the result was surprisingly entertaining. The once-loyal Democrats broke down how the party has unraveled as Trump's momentum grows, revealing why their faith has faded in a party that once inspired them, but now feels completely transformed.
About Trump, he really, really does not like war.
Which I love that about him.
I kind of do, because I don't want war either, and most of them are unnecessary.
Agreed.
I mean, he took a long time when I had that dinner with him talking about the pictures he sees coming from Ukraine, the stuff that doesn't get out on the news. It's like raw footage of bodies in the field.
Yes.
And you could tell it really moved him. He's like, I do not want to see this, and I'm the kind of guy who can fix this.
It's striking to see Cheryl Hines and Bill Maher openly admit there's actually something they admire about Donald Trump. Coming from two voices known for relentless Trump takedowns, especially Maher, it's a surprising shift. For years, his monologues were a non-stop stream of sharp shots at Trump and the GOP. But now, this more reflective version of Maher has flipped the script, drawing in new fans while confusing some of his longtime supporters. Even Democrats are baffled. Some say he's fed up with the party's mixed messages, while others think he's softened after that much-talked-about dinner with Trump. Whatever the reason, the shift is undeniable, and it's generating more buzz than anything he said during his old, predictable, playbook-style commentary.
He's never not going to be Trump. So, of course, he's like, I solved 9 okay, even if it's half that, it's still good that we're solving them and not starting them.
That's the thing that I find that I really like about President Trump when he talks about Ukraine. And he talks about Ukraine and Russia, and he will say they're losing people on both sides.
Donald Trump has repeatedly said he doesn't want the U.S. dragged into another cycle of endless wars, and ending the Ukraine conflict has become one of his key goals. Whether people agree with him or not, his approach is shifting the conversation. Maher noted that Trump's stance stands in sharp contrast to Biden's, and that difference alone signals a major momentum shift. While Biden pushed for diplomatic solutions that never fully materialized, Trump's unconventional pressure tactics seem to be creating movement, or at least steering things in a new direction. And for Trump, that shift is quickly becoming a significant political win with global consequences.
Asking me about when I met him, what surprised me the most, and I said I was surprised that he really likes to listen to people. He's very curious in what
you
have to say.
They hated when I said that. Again, because I'm just telling you what happened. What, should I lie?
I guess so. I guess
right.
That's what
he kicked me in the balls under the table, and then
I knew he would.
He threw the spaghetti against the wall when I raised the subject of tariffs. No. No.
I can already picture plenty of Democrats seething over Bill Maher's latest comments about Donald Trump. For years, everyone expected Maher to follow the usual script and fire nonstop criticism. But the moment he acknowledged that Trump can actually be likable and disarmingly pleasant, everything shifted. Cheryl Hines has seen that side of Trump too, which only reinforces what many refuse to admit. People assumed Maher would leave his meeting with Trump armed with sharper insults and fresh outrage. Instead, he came back with nuance, and that alone has thrown some of his own followers into an emotional tailspin. It reveals something bigger. Many people don't dislike Trump because of personal experience. They dislike him because they were told to. And Maher just shattered that narrative.
Yeah, I think he actually wants more people around him for a stimulating conversation.
Yeah.
I was very surprised at, and mentioned it again, they hated me for it, that as opposed to so many important people I've met who, when you talk to them, you don't feel like they're really listening. They're kind of like, you know what I mean? And then when they answer you, it doesn't quite track, you know?
They're just waiting for their turn to talk.
This is both laugh out loud funny and surprisingly revealing. Politicians walk into interviews armed with rehearsed talking points and scripted lines, as if they're reading from invisible cue cards floating above the camera. And when an interviewer throws a curveball, most of them refuse to budge. They cling to their script with mechanical stubbornness, repeating the same lines even when their answers don't match the question. The result? Cringeworthy moments where you can see the disconnect happening in real time.
It's on this different level. I mean, these are show people too. I've had that. But I didn't get that with him at all.
No.
I got a guy who looked in my eyes,
Yes.
was listening to what I said, waited until I finished, even when it was contradictory, when it was he never got blustery or mad about it. You know, he said some things that I don't agree with and some things that I think are just, you know, plainly not right, like, you know, third term, yeah, I think you could do it. I'm having people look into it. No, you can't do it. and you can have people look into it from now until the end of time. It's like 12 words in the Constitution. You can't do it.
Kamala Harris often gave broad, vague answers instead of clear ones. Even when questions needed specifics, she drifted into long, word salad, responses that sounded polished but said very little. In many interviews, it felt like she wasn't truly engaging, just repeating rehearsed talking points that didn't always match the moment. This overscripted style created distance, making it seem like she was waiting for an easier question to fall back into her comfort zone. And when politicians do that, it shows, leaving viewers puzzled, unconvinced, and disconnected.
Mad.
Right.
And then I also made the point that, you know, I went home that night and I was getting into bed in 60 Minutes. I taped it, and there he is on 60 Minutes, and he's like ranting and raving. I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
This is not the guy I met.
Yeah.
And so I'm just the reporter here. I'm just telling you.
This
you
was
know,
my experience.
These aren't neutral observers. They're lifelong Democrats suddenly saying something positive about their biggest rival, Donald Trump. And that alone rattles parts of the left. For years, the unwritten rule has been clear. Democrats must show absolute contempt for Trump, with no nuance or independent thinking allowed. So when voices like Bill Maher or Cheryl Hines break from that script and acknowledge anything redeeming about him, it sparks outrage in Democratic circles and left-leaning media. It disrupts a narrative they've pushed for years. To them, any Democrat appreciating even one thing about Trump feels like betrayal. And that reaction reveals just how rigid and emotionally charged their political expectations have become.
Very kind to me from the beginning. They weren't mean.
No.
And they never have been.
No.
And I can't say that for the Democrats.
I agree. That's the difference that people don't, I think, see. They're like, why did you turn on the Democrats? Well, first of all, I didn't. Like I said, we voted for the same person.
For years, Republicans were painted as the cold, unforgiving side of politics. But Bill Maher and Cheryl Hines are flipping that narrative, revealing a different reality. Today, the Democratic Party can be just as ruthless, sometimes even more, especially toward anyone who steps outside the approved script. One slightly independent thought, and they don't just debate you. They attack you, label you, and often try to cancel you entirely. The message is simple: obey or be punished. Maher and Hines calling this out matters because it exposes what many have sensed for years. The Democrats aren't always the compassionate, tolerant side they claim to be. They can be brutally ruthless.
Retreats lately where liberal strategists hold ideathons, where they try to figure out why they keep losing elections. You know, apart from using words like ideathon. And now one idea that's getting a lot of attention is the Dems need to find their Joe Rogan, a liberal Joe Rogan, because that's why Kamala lost. Republicans have a podcast.
The Democrats don't just need a Joe Rogan. They need their own Donald Trump. Someone genuine, brutally honest, and bold enough to stand up to the woke machinery. They need a leader with a spine, willing to take criticism, own flaws, resist ideological trends, and inspire trust through authenticity. Maher's point is clear. The party needs strong personalities willing to challenge their own side to start rebuilding credibility.
Could consider this. Instead of conjuring up a new Joe Rogan, ask yourself why you lost the old one. Because he used to be on your side. He smokes pot on the air. I don't think he's that much of a far-right ideologue. I don't think his mind is completely inflexible. His neck, yes. But not his mind. And he's expressed unease with some things Trump is doing, as has a certain disgruntled former employee named Elon Musk, who, like Joe, is another guy who 5 years ago was thought of as a liberal, but got driven into the other camp by bad attitudes and bad ideas.
Flawed thinking is driving voices like Cheryl Hines and Robert F. Kennedy away from the Democrats. The party's focus on ideological purity over practical solutions leaves longtime supporters frustrated and disconnected. If it doesn't evolve, more allies will look elsewhere.